Well, it is much better talking about Genesis Notary Services and the businesses than that horrible Ravens game on Monday night, which is why you're here. That was terrible. Terrible in all phases. There's no sugarcoating that. That was a good old butt whooping, period. I think the Ravens got beaten all phases. Um, that was bad, but and that's being nice. Words we won't use. My father was still alive. He would be using all the four-letter words you can think of to describe that pathetic, terrible, terrible defensive performance, especially on Monday night. So we're going to talk about it. So Jared Goff, I think is fine. I think Goff is. I think if he's got the line protection and that line protection, they did lose a couple guys. They were worried about. He was protected all night, 20 for 28, one TD. I thought Goff did exactly what he needed to do. Goff is pretty accurate. When he could stand there and get time and throw the ball, he's fine. He had the one little goofy pass, I think, that was incomplete when they made him move his feet one time. He actually did move his feet. He had that big pass on the fourth down, rather, late in the game to ice it. That was good. I thought Goff was good. I don't know if he was better than Lamar was, but I thought he was really good. Obviously, they won the game. This is completely ridiculous. Ravens got totally gashed by Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery. 22 for 67, 22 carries, 67 yards, 2 TDs, Jamar Gibbs. David Montgomery, 12, 151, had a 70-plus yard run. They had 2 drives of 90 yards. Incredible. Never seen that. Never seen. Well, I've seen it obviously in football. Never seen the Ravens defense give up run game like that. Unbelievable. Never seen them. These are good running backs and they had a good line, but they basically pushed them around at the line of scrimmage all night. Aligned with the lines we were all questioning a bit because of their 2 new additions. With Frank Ragnow being gone, Tate Rutledge being a rookie, that makes some changes. Grab Glass, really good. Obviously as well. St. Brown. I saw people are killing Humphrey for being super bad in this one. He was the least of it. I'll put it like that. I think St. Brown, I think in the slot, he is probably as good as a receiver in the league. Very physical. Very physical. He reminds me a lot of Hines Ward, the cheater for the Steelers a lot for him. He hits guys at the line of scrimmage, creates his space. He has good speed, better speed than Hines Ward is, but he's very good at creating space. If you're not throwing the ball to him, he's very physical in the run game as well. Very good blocking, maybe one of the better blocking wide receivers in the league right now. So very good, seven receptions for 77 as well. Whenever they needed that passing game, that's where they went. Amon-Ra Brown, very good. Aiden Hutchinson, this graphic doesn't do it justice. He had 1 sack, but he was all over the field. Constantly, I thought, in the Ravens backfield all night long. He definitely had the 1 sack later in the game. He had the huge play, almost the bigger play, the punching out of Derrick Henry late in the game and that fumble in the fourth quarter that made all the difference as well. So Hutchinson, I think, this is one of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. So no surprise that he was super effective. You want me to say something good about the Ravens during this game? I ain't going to have a lot to say, except for our fearless leader, Lamar Jackson, was good. 21 for 27, 288, 3 touchdowns. One of them was garbage time. No interceptions yet on the year. He did have one that should have been intercepted. I think Brian Branch got him good. Really called it out. Lamar clearly didn't see him. Ball was in his hands, dropped it, so he got a break there. Lamar, like a lot of good quarterbacks, didn't make him pay. Then drove the ball down in the end zone as well. I do think you're holding the ball too long. That's the one thing I would say about Lamar. You got to let it rip a little faster. This line isn't good enough for you to just hold the ball. You got 4.3 speed. You're the fastest guy on the team, fastest quarterback, one of them in the league, if not the fastest, and you got 7 sacks to Goff's none as a statue. But that's the only thing. No, some of those were on him. The line wasn't great, but some of those was on him. Derrick Henry, We've never seen this. We certainly, I wasn't expecting to be coming on the podcast ever this season and saying Derrick Henry's had lost fumbles in 3 straight football games. And that's exactly where we are. 12 carries for 50 yards. The first time in the Lamar Jackson area where the Ravens had less than 100 yards rushing in 2 consecutive games. I'm going to say this, and then everybody's going to talk about the fumble. I want to see Keaton Mitchell. That's enough now. Like your run game now, you haven't had the run game. You've had a guy just inactive. As far as I know, he's not missing practice. He's not hurt. You're just not using. You got 4 running backs. Put him in a game. Justice Hill hasn't given you anything in the run game. I mean, he's basically some of that is again helping the line because they haven't had Pat Ricard, et cetera, and they've struggled on the right side. But Derrick Henry, 3 fumbles. Josh asked me in the chat, and it was asked again on the open night, and I think some people are going to ask the question, is this it for Henry because he's getting older? Is age catching up to him? I don't think that's true yet. Not yet. I think Derrick Henry is – I'm not ready to say that yet. I think because we're so soon away from him being a great player. He had a great first week. He had a great season last season. I don't think he forgot how to play in 2 weeks. I think for sure what's happening with Derrick Henry is the line isn't great, and what teams are doing is they're putting 9, 8 in the box all the time, and they're just swatting that boy out. They're ready for that RPO. I think they've seen it. They need to make some changes in the run game, not necessarily personnel, but changes in the play types. That RPO isn't getting right now. Teams are really just ready for that, sitting on that. Andrews, I think, had a good night. I think this was good to see that they were purposely game planning Mark Andrews in this one. 6 receptions, 91 yards, good in the red zone. That looked like a vintage Mark Andrews performance as well. I think if there's anybody else who was good, it was Mark Andrews in this one. One of them was garbage time, I understand that. But I thought it was good. The defense, I got nothing for you guys. I mean, Roquan had 6 tackles. I called him out after the game. Certainly as well. Kyle Hamilton as well. Nothing good on defense. Not the run defense, not the pass defense. There was no pass rush. Goff got no sacks. You got ran over in the run game. You got there's nothing. I got nothing for you. That was as bad. Even like we've had bad outings on defense. I'm not going to pretend that it hasn't happened because it clearly has. But usually it was one thing or the other thing. Hey, man, usually the run defense was really good. And even in days like they got torched through the air or they were just over aggressive or whatever. But, man, you got pushed around on the ground and you couldn't cover. 20 missed tackles. You're 32nd, I think 31st in the league on defense. I don't know what you want me to say to that. I mean, that's just terrible all the way around. And I understand now that is true. There are injuries right now in the defensive line. Their entire defensive line starting group is possibly might miss the Kansas City game. So it was definitely evident that factored in somewhat. I don't care. That's not going to work. That's insignificant. Those other guys are getting paid too. Roquan Smith, you gotta step up more and do that. Daffy Owe, where were you? Mike Green looked a little young. I guess he's a rook. Malachi Stark, you guys, you're spending. Defenders get paid as much as offense, and that was unacceptable. Period. So I got nothing good for you. I got nothing good for you on. I can't think of anything that you did well on Sunday on Monday night. So 38-30, Lions did deserve to win. There's no question about that. I mean, I think a lot of times if you watched it, we can all agree on that. Lions, I would say they look about the same though as they did last year. I kind of thought there might be a little bit of diminution. They would still be really good. That they look good. Their line looks about the same formula. They're running the football very well. They're very stout at the line at the point of attack. Goff, I think, was solid. This was a guy. Jared Goff is a great story because he was a guy that nobody wanted. Right? The Rams basically got rid of him. They had to get rid of 3 first-round picks, all these picks, just to get the Lions to even take him. And he was just supposed to be the bridge guy for whatever. And he's been saving grace for them, outstanding, leading them to the best era of success. And here we go. The Chefs and the Ravens, 1-2. So we're going to have the great Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling this game as well. We weren't expecting both squads to be at 1-2, but this is where we are. 4:25 on Sunday CBS for us old heads. Some of you young people wouldn't know it as Paramount Plus. I'm sure the streaming service. You're going to watch the game there as well. This is huge now for both teams. 1-3 would not be good as well. I think the Ravens possibly weather it more, I think, in their division than, but 1-3 is not good. 1-3 is not good. I can't remember 1-3, so we'll see how this goes. Not concerned about Lamar. I think Lamar has been the guy, I think, really still carrying him. 722 yards, 9 TDs, no interceptions yet on the season as well. Gotta let it go quicker. Got to see Lamar in the run game. Got to get time of possession. In the Lions game, you lost a lot of time of possession in this one. Lions basically ran it down your throat as well. You got to get more ball control on offense. They're scoring quickly, which is good, but you're not. You got to be more efficient with your ball as well. So as well, Derrick Henry. There's nothing you're going to do different about Derrick Henry as far as his playing time, etc. I don't think it's out of the realm that he can get in John Harbaugh's doghouse, even at Derrick Henry. He does not like running backs to fumble. We've seen 3 straight weeks with Derrick Henry's fumble. I've seen plenty of guys. You can almost argue he was benched after the one the other night. I noticed we saw a lot of Justice Hill after he fumbled in the fourth. Really couldn't get it together. Am I worried about Derrick Henry as overall? Not really. I don't think he's the biggest problem. I think, though, he hasn't been good. Had it not been for those fumbles, they might have won the game the last 2 weeks. They might have won the game in Buffalo. They might have won the game in Detroit. Against Detroit. You never know. But I think a lot of it is you're seeing 8-9 man fronts. Let's see a little Keaton Mitchell. I want to see a little Keaton Mitchell change the pace. You got to break up these defenses from just stacking the box like I keep seeing. Zay Flowers, a little quieter in the last game. Not concerned about Flowers at all. This receiving corps has been really good. Really, really good. Not concerned about that at all. I think they were less of him. I think they were just trying to actually get more of Mark Andrews involved. So they didn't really have the ball a whole lot because of the ball control of the Lions were doing. And not worried about Flowers. I think he just had less opportunity as well. I do think also better chance we get Isaiah Likely on the field for the first time in this game. Roquan Smith, too many missed tackles. You can't miss all these tackles, Roquan. You can't do that. Kyle Hamilton was way too quiet in this one. It's your turn to step up. You may be playing with defensive linemen in front of you that you're not used to. You may have Brent Urban start this game. They signed 2 guys on today today at defensive line. John Harbaugh, you may be without Nani Matabuke for quite a while. And let me tell you something, what you watching out there. Anytime John Harbaugh doesn't start actually lie about, well, you might play and all that guy's hurt. He was way too quick saying that. I could tell by the way Buck and Aikman were talking about it on Monday night. They know something. They didn't go elaborate, but he's hurt. Next man up. You got to have guys. You're paying Kyle Hamilton a lot of money. You're paying Roquan a lot of money. You're paying Marlon a lot of money. You're paying these guys a lot of money. Some of them are hurt. Some of them are on the injury report. But you can't look like what you want to look like. I will say this offense you're facing is nowhere near, despite the uniform, what you face Monday, right? It's totally different as well. Although I think still Pat Mahomes he's a top 10 all-time quarterback. I think I had him in the top 10. The winning that he has done is unprecedented. Although he now, the first time ever, lost 3 straight games. Stats are down a little bit. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Chiefs 1-2. They're having trouble stretching the field. They are going to have Xavier Worthy in this game. They're not yet going to have Rashid Rice still suspended. So that helps them a little bit, but they can't stretch the field. They remind me of years ago when the Niners, like San Francisco 49ers, good passing team, when they didn't have running backs, that's what it looks like. They just dink dunk, dink dunk, dink dunk, dink dunk, dink. That's about their offense, and that's why they're not scoring as much as whatever. They got to do long drives. Isaiah Pacheco in the run game. So Pacheco reminds me of a running back used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, Marion Barber. Tough, physical, but he's about half the size, which is why he's always on the shelf. So he runs hard. He runs between the tackles. He does a lot of that, but he gets banged up a lot. He doesn't always get the length of the carries. So he's got a lot of toughness, which you admire as a football player. I'm sure his teammates love him because of the way he plays. There's a lot of toughness, but you're not going to get a ton of production. You see at 25 carries, 92 yards as well. Travis Kelce, Mr. Taylor Swift there, not the same player. Not the same player. I think you see it at times. He's definitely 2 steps slower than the Kelce I remember as well. He's about as strong as well. He can still get those like spots when teams are playing zone open area. He'll still gonna get it, but he used to really just blow past linebackers, whatever. Those linebackers are catching him now as well. Not the same player. Decent enough though. I think still probably the go-to guy. I think at least in Pat Mahomes' mind, hey man, I got to get the ball to Travis Kelce in this one. Let's see how they cover in this one. Let's see how Teddy Buchanan, Malachi Starks, and Norvin do against this version of Travis Kelce. And the guy I think we got to worry about the most on defense, even though he himself has had a little bit of a slow start, is Chris Jones. He's had 1 sack. He hasn't looked himself like we've seen. He himself, he's been good, but he even got called out by his own team, Drew Frankel, not playing, kind of getting on his case here, not following. So we're kind of seeing that as well. He's for sure going to pick on the X factor here, Daniel Falele. Because I saw it last year, like he just was pointing to Falele and picking him out. That's for sure. I would say this: the line.
Okay, they delivered it there.
I don't know how to evaluate the line for the last game. I'm not sure. I think Ronnie Stanley again is on the injury report today, so that could be just a veteran thing or just hyperbolic. So I'm thinking he's going to play, whatever. Because Lamar was holding on a lot to the ball, but they don't pass block. They don't pass block well. I think that's the problem. I think they don't. When he's doing these 7-step drop, 5-step drops, whatever, he's got to move. Lamar's got to let it quicker. But Falele is they got to give him some help. They got to give him some help. But we'll see how good Chris Jones still is if he's well, because he has not been quite the same as well. X factor on defense, all of y'all. I did have a Daffy Owe, I think, in a way. I thought about that, but you guys were all so bad last week. I can't say anything else. So let's see if any of you guys are going to step up and show some pride in this one against a team that's perennially sent you guys home or helped to send you guys home in the playoffs. There you go. I do think we win. I do think they show up. I think Kansas City has real problems as well. I think that's a bigger factor. And the defense is going to play better because you can't play any worse than you did on Monday. So there you go. All right. So that's what you're going to hear. So you're going to have the great, it was cool last week on the NFL Today to see the great Brent Musburger, who we watched up. Brent's like 86 now. You are looking live. and going around all the games. Got the name, even coined the name Indiana Jones there. So it was good stuff there, and it can only get better because that was bad. Hopefully, we can get on the game. We'll be here after the game to go ahead and hopefully we'll be able to talk about a win against the Chiefs. Diving to the top will be on further. I'm gonna do everything I can this week to get a co-host for that. This week I'm gonna try and see if I can get somebody on with me fourth. It's a little bit earlier. We had some like night games, so it's kind of hard. But I think it'll be a little easier if we get somebody on there after the game as well. This week as well. So chop it up as well. Keep the faith after that debacle as well.